Oop. Good morning, everyone. This is Jeffy Kennedy, author of fantasy romance and romantic fantasy. I'm here with my first cup of coffee. Didn't mean to make that extra loud clang, but you know what day it is. Say it with me. Friday! Woohoo! Friday, May something. Who knows? May 20th? Yeah, how is it May 20th? Nebula weekend. Yay! Kicked off with some mentoring last night. That was really fun. And yeah, yesterday was my mom and stepdad's wedding anniversary, 15th wedding anniversary. Uh, Congratulations. Cannot believe it's been 15 years. That going to that wedding feels like yesterday. Uh, yeah, so they were going to celebrate last night, but then turns out that stepdad Dave has an infection in his leg, still from that accident. So he had to be on antibiotics. So my David had a good idea, um, and we had DoorDash send them dessert from the bakery so that they at least got to have a little treat. I thought that was such a great idea. Feel free to use that. Um, so let's see. Other things I've got. I don't think I even opened up where I am on the. Let me do that. It's not going as fast as I want it to, but 84,000, 85,000 is good. I have somewhere in the neighborhood of 13 or 14,000 words to go. Um, None of you even responded to me yesterday saying I was going to kill all the characters off. Apparently, you guys just like didn't take me seriously. I'm going to do it, I swear. Ah, I almost don't have to kill them off because they're all about dead right now. It wouldn't take much, really. So, if I'm figuring on that about the last 10,000 words are going to be the epilogues, which is what I'm hoping for, that means I have like 3 to 4,000 words to save the world. We'll just see. We'll just see what happens. Uh, Nebula conference panels are starting today. Hello, Hummer. And there's one I want to watch at 10 my time. I'm on one at 2:30. You could still register if you want to um, be part of the conference. The programming is great. Lots of good stuff happening. Tonight, I get to interview Mercedes Lackey, Grandmaster. Very excited about that. Little hummingbird. So, panel at 2:30 is about combating misogyny in romance. Cecilia Tan is our moderator, so that should be great. Looking forward to that. Looking forward to doing this reception and interview tonight. Lots of good stuff going on tomorrow. Award ceremony tomorrow night. Um, I sent the trailer to my friend Megan Mulry, who is getting married in a couple of weeks. I have to deal with flowers for her wedding, which I really want to do. I just need to do some dealing on that. Trying to figure out the best way to do that. I know what I want to do. I'm just trying to figure out the best acquisition method. So, yeah, I get to see her next Wednesday. She texted this morning, and we will go um, scope out the site so I can make my nefarious plans. Wahaha! And then she will buy me a drink afterwards because she's awesome. But anyway, I sent her the Nebula Award Ceremony trailer because she has been sort of my, what do I want to say? Not objective ear, but she's the person who is like that I can tell things to, that I can tell the secret things to, because she's not involved, right? So, like when you have an NDA and you don't disclose stuff, you can't disclose to, anyone that where it's going to go anywhere. But, you know, between her and I, it's the cone of silence on many, many things. So she knew what I went through. And so I sent her the trailer and she said, I have 3 words for you. And she did them in a separate text, each line. Neil fucking Gaiman. Amen. Amen, sister. So, um, so yeah, right now I'm in that kind of weird limbo state of getting this conference done, feeling a little tired, getting this book done, looking very much forward to having the conference behind us as much as I'm looking forward to having the conference. And then I will see what happens as far as getting this book out, getting it finished. What I'm hoping is that I can like get that ending down today, and I don't know if I'll work on it any over the weekend. I'll see how I feel. See if it's better for me to decompress or not. But if I can get the ending finished out between today and tomorrow, or tomorrow, Monday, and then do a couple of long days. So I'm running out of time. I really need to get that ending done today, don't I? So that I can then have a couple of days to do my really pound words on those epilogues. Fortunately, I know pretty much what those epilogues are going to be. I just need to get them done and then have a little time to revise and proof. Not a lot of time to proof. Maybe I should push this release date. I have to figure out what is the last day that I can push that release date. I'm torn on that. It would make things easier if I pushed the release date, give me a little bit more time to get this proofing done and everything. Um, but then I also feel like maybe I can do it. So I'll figure out what is my drop dead day to push that release date. And then, if I do push it, it'll be like by a week. Nothing big. So, enough about me. What do you think about me? Uh, I did want to talk a little bit about author platform stuff because I blogged about it on Wednesday and received quite a few notes about it, with people saying that they really needed to hear that. So I thought I would talk about it a little bit more on here. Hummingbirds do not worry about platforms. I feel like I should switch my hanging baskets because this one is so much happier than this one. This one's really getting battered by the wind. Either that or I just need to move it in some. But it's symmetrical the way it is. I don't know. Or I can move it over there. So, author platforms, not hanging baskets. Uh, so, for those of you who did not read the blog post, although I'll try to remember to link to it if you're interested, it comes from the term author platform, comes from the early 90s when the internet was kicking into gear and people really started looking in terms of sales platforms on the internet and reach. And in the beginning, author platform really applied to nonfiction books. It was, in order to sell a nonfiction book, you kind of wanted an author who was a perceived expert in the field, a celebrity, uh, you know what I'm saying, had a following. That's part of why this is related to the early days of the internet, because people gained these followings. It was sort of like Instagram influencers, only with blogging. And the early bloggers would gain these followings, and I remember, like there were ones that I would follow every day, like Deuce. I don't even know what she's doing now. Haven't looked at her blog in a long time. But they gained these huge followings. They had this enormous platform. Well, so you have to think about things in terms of the New York people, and especially the agents and editors, especially the young and hungry ones, who are looking at building their careers and being able to sell the house and the salespeople on publishing a book. And one of the things that they want, and sometimes I will see um, agents in particular will have in their submission materials, tell me about your author platform, tell me about your social media platform. Because what they really want is these people who already have tens or hundreds of thousands or a million followers already that they can target this book towards. And you may say to yourself, if you are a, I don't even want to say savvy, but if you are following this line of thought to its logical conclusion, and it is something that the newbie authors ask all the time, is like, well, if I am a debut author and I have not yet done anything, how am I supposed to have a platform of readers already? And is it that what the publishing house should be doing? Well, my child, this is one of the things that changed with the internet, was these publishing houses figured out that they didn't necessarily have to do all of that expensive eh, splashing of coffee on themselves. That's what I get for getting worked up. That they realized that they could make the authors do this, especially because they did have authors coming to them with substantive platforms already, right? So it really was a major change and how the business went about selling books, because now they could sell books through social media, and they really wanted authors who already had social media platforms. Well, you can see the catch 22 here, right? And so that became the push for many authors to begin establishing their social media presence. Have your website, have your Facebook page, have your Twitter following, uh, before you even sell that debut book. Because, to back up a little bit on what platform is, if you are not a celebrity or an Instagram influencer or a noted expert in dog feces, bull feces, uh, then what does it mean for you to have a platform? Well, what it is it's your reach. It is uh, who you can, and let me get the exact definition here. Hang on. Okay, I found it. And this is not me, this is Jane Friedman's definition, which I believe I paraphrased, but I linked to her article on it. She has a really great write up on author platform. It's in the blog post, so if you go to that, you'll find it. But I'm finding it. Okay, so an author platform is an ability to sell books because of who you are and who you can reach. All right, so who you are may not necessarily be anything, right? If you are not a noted expert in bovine feces, male bovine feces. But who you can reach is a different thing. Now, a lot of New York would love to have the person who comes with their ready made 100,000 million followers, whatever. But do you have to have this? No. And the point that I was making in my blog post is the way for fiction authors to reach people is through their stories. And so the best way that you can build your author platform is by writing more books, writing more stories, uh, getting that work out there. That's why everybody says, and I've been hearing this for decades now, Eep, and it is true. that the very best way to market a book is to write the next book. Uh, if you can, write a series, because writing sequels is great for marketing that first book. But the more books you write, and I'm going to add this, I didn't say this in the blog post, but this is why I'm always emphasizing craft and improvement over marketing efforts. Write better books, get better at what you're doing. And as you get better, you will reach more readers. As you write the things that move you, you will reach the people who are moved by the things that you write. You don't have to change up the marketing things as much as you need to get those stories out there that will actually reach people. That's a different kind of reach than the salespeople and marketing people are thinking about, but that's because they are sellers of widgets, not creators of stories. So, something to think about. The other thing to keep in mind is that there are other ways to create reach, and that is networking in the community, being of service to people, being helpful to people, uh, but also the the success people know this, right? This is not a secret. That the more you can build your platform, your reach, the more it will bleed into everything that you are doing. So, this is why there are members of the writing community who claim to do things out of the goodness of their hearts. Uh, and present company accepted, because I really do things out of the goodness of my heart. Actually, that's not true. I mean, I wouldn't do this podcast only out of the goodness of my heart or only because my mother requires it. I do it in part to increase my reach, right? It's a way for me to do that. That's why we do our social media things, right? And that's why it's important to do the ones that you enjoy, because the more that you come across authentically, the better it is. But like somebody who, for example, puts on a huge conference for self-published writers and says, I don't make any money off of this, I'm only doing this to help out other self-published writers. Well, great. But you know what else they're doing is they're increasing their reach. Even if somebody is not making money off of a thing, it's because they're investing in the platform that will enable them to make money later. So a lot of, I don't know, the success community will employ that kind of language where they will attempt to legitimize themselves by saying that they don't charge for doing a thing, that they're not making money off of it. And, okay, great. But just because someone isn't making direct money off of a thing does not mean that they're not benefiting from the thing. So, and I'm not saying that they shouldn't benefit from it, but be aware of that, because the there are those who will do any and everything to draw attention to themselves, including bad behavior, because in a way, that's why they say that there's no such thing as bad publicity, which isn't really true. But there is a kernel of truth in that, because the more people who know who you are, the broader your reach, the bigger your platform. So, on that note, I am going to go in and get to work. I hope that you all have a wonderful Friday, a wonderful weekend. If I see you at Nebula Conference, say hi to me. It's totally online, but there's lots of virtual chat rooms and that sort of thing. And I will talk to you all on Monday. You all take care. Bye bye.